What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So there's a lot of stuff happening right now. First, Congress is still trying to figure out how they can provide stimulus to the American people. And we have the Biden administration moving forward with their economic recovery plan, doing a bunch of executive orders, and still trying to deal with the transition. That's what we're hearing. We also have the American people wondering, what is going on with the current stock market? Well, I have answers. We have some updates, so I want to give you all this in today's video, so make sure you watch this entire thing. First, earlier today, Senator Elizabeth Warren, she had a lot of very good insights for us, so I want to break down what she said. Now, she was pretty much supposed to talk about just stocks, what's going on with, GameStop, the markets, and things like that. However, she gave us some insights on stimulus, so I want to address that first. Now, in her interview, she said individuals making less than $40,000 per year are actually on a 20% unemployment rate. So yes, about 1 in every 5 American, or 1 in every 5 people right now that make less than $40,000 per year are currently unemployed. The majority of these people are blacks, Latinos, and women. Now, she stated that getting a stimulus check into the hands of these people is priority and is the top priority for Congress at this point. She also stated that right now, House Democrats are working to get a stimulus package done, and what we know, according to other reports, is we should see this sometime next week. That is when the votes are going to happen. Nancy Pelosi did come out and state earlier today that by the end of this week, House Democrats will have a budget reconciliation ready to go for next week. So next week, it will be voted on. She also stated that everybody must be ready. When she is talking about everybody, she's not talking about the American people. She is simply talking about the House. Members inside the House need to be ready because a vote is going to happen sometime next week. This is actually good news. However, there is also some follow-up news that is not so great, so I want you to know exactly what's happening there. What we know is that Democrats at this point are not waiting around for Republicans to get on board with this stimulus package. What we are hearing is that there's so many issues right now. If Republicans do not want to get on board, specifically the GOP, if they do not want to get on board, that's fine. Democrats will move forward without them. But this is causing many issues within the Senate. First, Forbes is reporting that Republicans are stating that shooting this shot for Democrats this soon is going to be a big mistake. They state that Democrats would come to regret this decision in just 3 to 4 months. That is big. Now, why is this? What we know Mitch McConnell, we know kind of his tendencies, what he's capable of doing. Well, there's still technically a filibuster in place in the Senate. Mitch McConnell and the GOP can technically filibuster any bill. Now, it will come up, and I guarantee you at some point it's going to happen where the Senate is going to try to remove the filibuster. Well, in order to do that, it is going to need all Democrats on board. Well, technically, or actually, not technically, what we are hearing is there are at least 2 Democrats that have come out and publicly stated they will not vote to end the filibuster. Even President Biden says, no, I do not want to end the filibuster. So right now, it's not looking so great for Democrats to try to gain all this control in the Senate. Because right now, it's going to backfire, and Republicans are stating that this decision, if they do this and do a budget reconciliation now, in 3 to 4 months, they are going to regret that decision. Now, here's what you need to know. Even though most experts are currently predicting that even though a budget reconciliation could pass through the House next week, here's the big difference. They are currently saying that there is talks that President Biden will most likely step in and prevent the Senate from voting on a budget reconciliation simply because he wants to try to work this out with Republicans himself. He wants to get a deal done, and it has to be a bipartisan stimulus package. Now, what we need to understand here is that this is going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a couple more weeks. So even though the House could vote on a bill next week and it could be kicked over to the Senate, the problem is President Biden, as reports are stating right now, he could step in and stop the Senate from voting on this. Pretty much just put a halt on this. Let's get it passed through the House. Let's kick it over to the Senate and let's wait. Let's pause so that President Biden can do his job, deal with Republicans themselves, because now this would put more pressure on Republicans. Because now they'd know, okay, it was already passed through the House by probably a fairly decent majority. There's going to be some Republicans that vote for it as well, but it's going to pass through the House. It's going to get kicked over the Senate, and then the problem there is, all right, here we go. So if I'm President Biden, I'd go, all right, Mitch McConnell, here's what we got. We have this budget reconciliation. You know what it is. You know how we're going to get it done. We have already passed this through the House. It's coming over to the Senate. Chuck Schumer is going to put it on the floor, immediately if you do not negotiate with us on this bipartisan stimulus package of $1.9 trillion. If you want something in it, now's the time to ask. Because if you don't and you say, no, we're not going to vote on that, that's unacceptable, it's too much, whatever, we're going to go with the nuclear option. We're going to pass this budget reconciliation tomorrow. That's what could happen. Now I'm just stating, just speculating, but that is a very likely scenario at this point. Again, according to reports, they're saying Biden will step in and prevent the Senate from voting on this at this point, just so that he can get another shot at doing this budget reconciliation. Remember, President Biden and the Senate, they don't want to use the budget reconciliation because they only have 9 times over the next 2 years to do this. So in the first week, first technically couple weeks, if they're going to use this, they're going to waste, I wouldn't say waste, they're going to use one of those options now in the first couple weeks. Well, that's going to go away very quickly if they use one every 2 or 3 weeks. So they want to save and preserve those for as long as possible. Now, this could mean we don't see stimulus for another couple of months. However, the Biden administration sees this as a positive thing. They see this as a positive thing because they won't have to use their nuclear option. They can save it, and the optics behind this will look better because Democrats and Republicans would have got on board, provided a bipartisan stimulus package. So that's what we're hearing as far as stimulus, that right now there's a lot of things going on, but the things are moving forward. We are progressing. We also got a lot of talks about $2,000 stimulus checks, monthly stimulus checks, retroactive stimulus checks. We got talks on Social Security a little bit, not much, but we're getting some. So as I know more there, I promise I'll fill you in on that as well. We're getting talks on, are we going to see this child tax credit increase to $3,600 and $3,000 up from the $2,000? Well, we have talks on that too. So as we get more information, I promise I'm going to give you all that information. But let's get back to Senator Elizabeth Warren for now. When she was asked if giving a stimulus check to an individual and seeing them put this in the stock market, is that good for the economy? Is that something that she is opposed to? Well, she said that using this money is supposed to go to buy goods and spend it in the economy. It's not, the main intent of this stimulus check is not as an investment purpose. That's not the goal of this check. It's to prop up the economy. See it, actually get back to where it once was. And putting all of our money into savings, stuffing it in the mattress, tucking it into your bra, whatever you want to do, or putting it into the stock market is not necessarily going to prop up the economy very quickly. Yeah, if you put it into the right things, it will grow, you'll have more money, and then you can go and spend it. But she's also saying, and others are saying this exact same thing, is when a new investor or new day trader, whatever you want to call yourself, comes in, makes a few trades, makes a few $100, and great, they have a couple extra $100. Awesome. What are they going to do with that? Chances are they're not going to pull it out, or they're not going to pull out all their money. They're going to pull out some. So even though the government gives us a $1,400 or a $2,000 stimulus check, how much of that is going to go back into the economy? That's currently what's being asked. That's currently what's being talked about. And they want the numbers. Now, while we're on the stock market, let's address this. A lot of people have been asking. I have probably just today received, just on my email alone, probably close to 20 emails, people asking, what should they do? Is this the beginning of the stock market crash? So I want to answer the question as to what is currently happening and what could we expect moving forward. Now, here's what we know, and you probably heard this. There's a lot of talks regarding GameStop and AMC, two companies that are not valued at what they are currently sitting at in the stock market. Here's what you need to know. Right now, there has been a plan on Reddit. There's a group, I think, called the Wall Street Bets. Now, this group, or this subreddit, is trying to squeeze people that are short selling stocks. Now, a short seller is pretty much one that comes in and says, okay, this stock is going to go down, so I'm going to borrow it here and then I'm going to buy it here. So you do it in a reverse order. Well, here's the issue with that. Right now, I think this group has this subreddit has 4 million people in it. It's up there. It's gained 2 million in the past day or 2 days. Now, what this means and what's happening is right now, GameStop and AMC are the two stocks that are really seeing the most squeezing from just individual traders for short sellers. Well, here's what happens. When a short seller gets squeezed so much, pretty much their positions are getting shorter, getting a little bit closer together. What you need to understand is that the stock that they invested in, if it starts going up, they're losing money. And when they start losing money, what happens is they got to go and buy the stock in order to cover their position. Now, when this happens enough, which essentially it did happen with AMC, GameStop, happened with Naked Brands, happened with Fubo TV, Cost. We could go on and on, what this has really done to some of these stocks. But a stock that is heavily shorted, what you need to understand is these short sellers are trying to cover their positions, which is sending the stock up. Now, here's what you need to understand, because even though you may not be invested in these, this affects the entire market. Here's the reason why. What happens is when a short seller is squeezed, they will have to not just cover their position, but they might have to liquidate other assets. And so this is where stocks like, Apple, Amazon, this is where these bigger companies that you shouldn't be seeing losses at this point. But we're seeing losses on Apple because a lot of bigger sellers are trying to liquidate their stocks, trying to liquidate other assets. And so what they're doing is they're selling stocks like Apple so that they can go and cover their positions. So this is why Apple's coming down and we see GameStop moving up and AMC moving up. This is an issue. Now, does this mean that the stock market is in for a crash? We are at that peak and we are going to see this bubble pop? No. Some stocks could come down, but in the long run, when I'm saying long run, I'm not talking about 5 years down the road. I'm talking about maybe weeks. In the next couple of weeks, we could see all these stocks rebound and GameStop, AMC start to drop. Again, whether that happens or not, I can't guarantee it, but that's currently what is being said. Right now, I'm comfortable investing in Apple. I'm comfortable investing in Amazon and Microsoft and good companies like that. However, to go and just throw your money into something like AMC, if you can even get into it, which you can, there's certain platforms out there that will allow you to buy it, but that's very speculative. It may or may not see any results. So I just want to warn you on that. Now, what I can tell you is a lot of people are going to want to jump in and get into the right platform. Right now, Robinhood is seeing a lot of backlash. I'm just telling you guys, don't jump into Robinhood just yet. What I recommend is you go and sign up for Webull. Webull is a free platform. You can do free trades. And if you deposit $100 in the first, 30 days by signing up with Webull, you will get 4 free stocks valued up to $1,600. So I'll put a link down in the description box below. If you want to go and sign up, I highly recommend you do. Stocks are going to start dropping, which is good because that means it's a better buying opportunity. You can get more stocks for less money. So if you have any questions on any of that stuff, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. I just want to thank you guys for watching. As I know more about the stimulus package, as I know more about what's going on with the stock market, I promise I'll come back and share more with you guys. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated, and I'll see you guys on the next one.